The latest book is on jargonizing. Now, where did this come from? First of all, the two main dimensions up to that book were that grounded theory is a method, and grounded theory produces a product. So you have a grounded theory method, and then you have a grounded theory product. And then I read the sage book on grounded theory. And as a grounded theorist, what should you think when you look at a reader? Readers are treasure troves of diverse articles to constantly compare and pull out the underlying variables, patterns, whatever we want to call them. We call them latent patterns, name them. So I constantly compared all the articles, not reading them as absolute truths, but reading them as data. And what became very clear to me was that far beyond method and product, what I've created, which itself is a grounded theory, is a vocabulary by which to talk about qualitative analysis, rightly or wrongly. And that's all this book does. It borrows the vocabulary to talk of, except for Judy's article and my article, right? There's always exceptions. No, it borrows the jargon to talk all about qualitative analysis. So I come up with the category, the core category is jargonizing, which in this case is they use the jargon, however wrong, to talk about their qualitative work. And then there's several properties of it. Jargon fills a vacuum because qualitative data analysis has no vocabulary and they need one. Another property of the jargon is that it itself is a grounded theory. We didn't think it up. Ansem and I looked at what we did in awareness of dying and came up with the categories that explained the method. Since I was trained in a world of methodology making at Columbia, I said, Ansem, we got to write a book on our method because the book is so popular. You know, it's in 5 languages or more, and Discovery's in 6 or 7 languages. So the jargon is a grounded theory, and it fulfills one of the important aspects of a grounded theory. It has tremendous grab. I theoretically saturated. Did you know that? Wow. I found an interchangeable indicator, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And did you theoretically sample? No, but I'm getting ready to. You know, so it's a jargon with great grab because it's grounded. And fortunately or unfortunately, the jargon, if you read this huge book, which is so hard to carry on an airplane, it's ridiculous. Because that's when you read, right? It's all jargoned. You know, and usually wrong. So I wrote this book on jargonizing. It's a short, long book, and it deals with lofty talk, and the jargon allows for multi-versions of grounded theory, because if it's jargon, you can apply it anywhere and just say, my version of grounded theory is different than yours. And we're going to learn here there's only one grounded theory. It's just a stupid, simple method. And why don't they get their own jargon? But they don't. There's no stopping the jargoning up of methods. Go ahead.
Barney, could you say what that other book is?
What?
Could you tell us what the other book is? What you're referring to?
Oh, you know, what is it called? It's a reader on
Is it the Handbook of Grounded Theory?
the Handbook of Grounded Theory. Sage just put it out. And it's all jargoned up. Now, you know, so I start the book saying, where is the book? If you want to belong, you jargon. If you want to sound intelligent, you jargon. If you want to lord it over others, you jargon, etc. Then I happened to go to a lecture that my son gave. He was getting a PhD in real estate finance, and I couldn't believe it, but it's like, it's a jargonizing cult. Right or wrong, you have no idea if they're referring to data or just belonging to the same jargon. If you want to establish a perspective that you own, you jargon it. And then everybody can point to it, like constructivist sociology. So you should read the book on jargoning, and it comes right out of the other book. So when you see a reader, you're looking at a reader, no matter what the subject. You're looking at a treasure trove of data to constantly compare, to see what's going on. And usually get enough variety to get some range of thought. So jargon, fortunately, is way ahead of method and product, but in the end, it tends to bring more people into classical grounded theory because through jargoning, they may do qualitative work, and then we get this call all the time, right? They run aground and say, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what to do, and then they start doing grounded theory, which is highly procedural, which you will follow perfectly, right?
I like it.
That's the kind of response I want. No.